Hey, how are you? My name's Felt, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering. Today we're doing praetor stuff. This time we're doing Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. In case you haven't heard this intro before, I'm doing a probably going to be once a week series here in the month of January, where I play each of the current existing Phyrexian praetors in a historic Brawl deck that's monocolored for them. All of this is because I'm super hyped for Phyrexia All Will Be One, even if the set isn't good in gameplay wise. Thematically, it looks really freaking cool. It looks like they have a lot of cool and interesting new mechanics that are coming in, and the new Elish Norn looks amazing, which that will be the end of the series. The fifth one will be an Elish Norn Panharmamikon deck that will come out some point in time after I figure out what works best for her, but based on the cards that I have. But right now we're playing Sheoldred, one of the rudest commanders in Historic Brawl. We don't play her the super rude way. We have no infinite combo. We have no Peer into the Abyss, no Veto plus exsanguinated blood. We just have like a pretty standard mono black control-y gameplay type thing. Lots of solid one drops that keep us alive, mana ramp, or just provide sack outlets. Lots of solid ways to draw throughout them as well. We include some stuff like Dark Ritual because it's just good, Duress to check your opponent's hand, removal, and self-resurrections, and a Mox Amber for good measure. Lots of solid 2-drops, Hand Hate, Destruction, Sacking for Draw, the classics. Knight of Dusk Shadow to make my opponent really dislike Sheoldred. Vampire's Kiss because it's just good, stuff like that. Some solid 3-drops and like Morbid Opportunist, Soul Shatter, Braids, Gix, Yawgmoth, Praetor. Amazing card with Sheoldred, by the way, because if you're only hitting with one thing per turn, you draw one, gain one off of Gix's proc, which is crazy. Some of the bigger hits include a Baleful Mastery, Giction Puppeteer, which is really strong, Skull Raid to really make your opponent hate their hand, Sorin the Mirthless for just lots of survivability. Got some solid Overwhelming Remorse, Grey Merchant of Asphodel, who can really just like win you the game on the spot. Same with Lulth. Sir Conrad the Grim, because he kind of synergizes with a little bit of your hate. He can be pretty good in that regard. Invoke Despair, because it's Sheoldred Mono Black, why not? And some of our biggest hits include Blood on the Snow, Professor Onyx, a big ol' Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, and then Rise of the Dark Realms. Which might seem a little odd to include in here, but we have enough hand hate as well as enough removal spells that if a game grinds on long enough, we might just want to pull everything from the graveyard onto the battlefield. But yeah, that's the deck. The gameplay is... We'll see how the gameplay goes. I've had a hard time with this deck because people really know how to deal with Sheoldred right now because of her being so omnipresent and standard. Either way, like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video already. Feel free to stick around and watch all this gameplay that follows. There's going to be a lot of it. Let's hop right into it. Miriam Sentinel Wab. Alright, the matchmaker clearly thinks I'm an S tier deck. Let's prove them right. And my opponent gets to go first. Man. I wish that there was like a way to like make it so that every other game you got to go first. That'd be cool. I've been on the draw a lot today. Holy terrible hands, Batman. Wow. Alright. Well, I guess we keep this because it's pretty okay. You'd be shocked to know that this is a 38 lander. That's a lot for this format, considering I've run decks as low as 36 and been fine. I know it's not as good as like standard commander decks. Rabbit Battery. Alright, well, that's kind of weird from Miriam. But okay, thankfully I hit my next land. They can't swing anymore, thankfully. Or they want to give me mana ramp, I guess? I don't know what that was about. I don't know why you would want to give your opponent mana ramp. I think my game just nearly crashed. That would have been terrifying. I actually like Warlock class a lot in this deck. Let's go ahead and do some hand hate, though. No. I think, depending on what happens next turn, we might just play Gix. I think I might just play Gix and get the draw engine rolling. I can't imagine they're playing too much removal. I think we actually play the Eye Twitch here. This way I get to draw 3 cards next turn. Assuming they don't play anything. They only have 5 available mana. I guess they could play the Dragon's Legacy. Right? They have enough mana. I do think currently we just play Sheoldred to try and force out something. They do not have much instant speed interaction, though. Alright, my opponent might just lose off the rip here because they played a very slow plan with Miram. And I think I might just like straight up win if I invoke Despair. Oh no, burn down the house. Drop the booties. They don't actually matter in this matchup. I think we just replay Sheoldred here. Because we don't want to invoke Despair on them being empty. We want to hit targets with Invoke Despair. If all they play is Miram, I think that's the... Okay, well, that's just kind of game. I think that is just straight up game, right? Because I can swing now? Yeah, alright. Well, GG's opponent. Little too slow of a game plan into Sheoldred, my friend. I think that burn down the house really caught me by surprise and really got me going. To be fair, they didn't get to Howlpack Piper. But that's why you run Hand Hate. Decks, you learn that when playing Sheoldred, you can play enough Hand Hate to really get things going. Stuff like Concealing Curtains and Check for Traps are like auto-includes when the only things that can really defeat you because you just gain and drain so much life are just like these crazy effects like that. Where my opponent could have gotten a free old Gnawbone to immediately massively mana ramp and kill me. Yeah, GG's. Alright, what's the matchup? Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. That's good, bad. Good because I think they just want to draw a lot, right? Yeah, they want to draw a lot. That's good for me. Bad because, well... It's mono black, and mono black is really strong in Historic Brawl. They probably have some crazy infinite combos that they can pull off with their commander. We have like an okay hand. We have 2 pieces of solid removal. We have a solid 1-drop in Eye Twitch that'll help us cycle out like a Feign Death. If our opponent lets our Eye Twitch die. I really just like the fact that it has double removal into a Yawgmoth deck, which is just really nice. I do like these cards. However, I'd appreciate it if I didn't draw them all at once. That'd be cool. Ornithopter? Yeah, I think we just... I don't think we allow the mana ramp. That's a little rude of me. I will not deny. But I just don't want them to have the mana ramp. If Yawgmoth gets off the ground quickly, he just kind of fucking wins. Penguin Brushstroke. I think we just kill the Blood Artist. Because that's just going to drain me out if I'm not careful. And now we just vibe and pray. Definitely a vibe and pray kind of day. What does Fabricate do? Let's change the buffer for 2 plus 1 plus 2. Okay. I think we just force the removal. I think we just force the removal here. We knew they had it. They're playing mono black. There's no way in hell mono black doesn't have removal, right? They do get to make me lose 1 life when they sack their blood token. I see they didn't want to make my Eye Twitch give me a card draw. Okay, let's play the Puppeteer. I'm assuming they're just going to... No? Okay, I'm shocked. I was expecting them to really want to play their Yawgmoth. We've already used 2 pieces of removal. Maybe they think I have another one. Okay, they hit their Arcane Signet. That's good. They hit a Jadar. That's also pretty good. Trying to force out more removal here. We know they have it. They're playing like they have it. Oh, they don't have it. Maybe they drew it. They're playing like they have removal. It could also be that they don't have removal. They just have the blood token proc on the stack. Not on the stack, sorry. They have the blood token like activation holding up priority there, and that might be what's going on. Not that they actually have removal. In case you're wondering, unlike real Magic, by real Magic I mean cardboard paper, like in-person Magic, in digital Magic, because of the way the game functions, it gives you time to make your decision about do you want to use abilities when there's like a trigger on the stack. For example, Sheoldred's trigger was on the stack, and my opponent had the activation of the blood token, most likely. That's what they could do. Looks like they're going to try and go infinite or something like that with a Yawgmoth coming out. Math is hard, but I think I can do both here. And then we drop that. Pray for lands. We did not get lands. I think actually in this instance we play Henrico. We draw a card and lose a life. Just not actually lose a life. We have a pretty solid board presence here. I'm feeling pretty confident. We could. Every creature does create a 2/2 Gluck zombie creature token. Interesting. Let's go ahead and find out what they dredged up, shall we? No thanks. You can have your lulf. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, I figured that they dragged up the meat hook because they were like, I want to board wipe him before I play Yawgmoth. Yeah. Yeah, I figured that's what it was. That's why I was really happy to see my Concealing Curtains. Yeah, I think they... Oh, they couldn't. Right. I was going to say, I think they probably should have played that sooner, but they couldn't. The most they could have hit was 3, which would have wiped everything but Sheoldred and put them behind, because I could have just started swinging. GG's to my opponent, though. They played pretty well. I think they could have run away with it, but I got lucky with some of my draws. Alright, we got Brawl, Chief of Compliance. I don't... Oh, wait, I've seen this card before. Dang it, opponent goes first. We do have a solid turn 1 to rest, though. Instants and sorceries cost 1 less to cast. And then they are allowed to loot every time they cast one. We are, however, going to duress them and see what they got. Null, Ceremonious, colorless, huh? Defabricate, Artifact or Enchantment. Counter target spell? No thank you. Looks like they literally only care about counter spells. Got it. Let's just play out a little bit of a board state. Artifact or Enchantment, colorless. Artifact or Enchantment or triggered ability, which means they can counter my Concealing Curtains if they so choose. Play this tapped. Play this out. No attacks. I think this is a turn 4 Sheoldred play. Especially as it looks like they don't actually have creature counter spells. Can't draw more than 1 card per turn. Oh no! I mean, that is annoying, but I'm gonna absolutely make it into a bit. It's not that big of a deal when we have a flyer.
I have just the trick for this.
Also, when I'm pretty sure they can't defabricate anymore. We need them by Concealing Curtains can transform, and I don't think they're a artifact or creature spell. Well, alright, well if they drew that, then I can see you can't counter it. Right? Am I crazy? I'm not misreading these cards. Am I? Oh, they cost 1 less to cast. Right. I'm the big dumb idiot head. God, this commander's annoying, huh? Alright, well now if they want to draw with Narset, they kill her. Which gives me great pleasure, because that means I can play Lulth and be very poggers. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very boring game for yours truly. Let's get this ability countered. Okay, never mind. They're not... I mean, they still can. But I mean, they can only counter it once, right? So. They can only counter that once with Defabricate, meaning next time it comes around, I can just, you know, do it again. Want to see me activate an ability? Want to see me do it again? Metallic Rebuke. Phase 3. Counter creature spell, counter target spell. Yeah, alright, that's kind of what I figured. I kind of figured they were a counterspell tribal deck. Which I think I just win this, though, because they just, like, they counter everything, right? Like, quote-unquote, but, like, if that's all they're doing, if that is all their game plan is, how do they win? Thanks. Right? Like, how do they win if that's all that they're... They clearly don't like whatever their extra card is, right? Let's place our Conrad. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I still just don't understand how they win. That's the kicker about a deck like this. How do they win? They might not let me do anything, but I don't know how they think they win here. Okay, currently that plan is Archmage Emeritus? Yeah, see, there it is. Like, how does a deck like that win? Sure, you locked me out of the game and countered out, like, 5 spells and an activated ability, but I have a 3/4 menace creature that you don't want to block. You'll eventually run out of spells and ways to counter me. GG's, though. You did pretty good. Pretty good game. Alright, we got an Essica matchup. The last person we got that was an Essica matchup, this didn't get into the video. The last Essica matchup we got, they just roped me. And by that, I mean they just, like, didn't do anything until the game auto let me win. I don't know if they weren't there, or if they just, like, got really mad that I played Sheoldred, and they just let their game AFK. If that's what's happening again, oh boy. Oh, no, they actually are playing. Good. Much better starting hand. Simply because of Bloodchief's Thirst. Essica likes to ramp, and they typically use ramp creatures, making Bloodchief's Thirst a great choice. IMO. Hopefully we draw an extra land. We could have probably mulliganed again and found some different removal spells, but I don't know. Skull Raid is a card that I actually enjoy quite a bit. Especially into ramp decks, because ramp decks will want to play extra cards out of their hand. With stuff like Explore and Growth Spiral. The mulligan to 6. That scares me a little bit. We did get our 3rd land, though. That's a really big upside for us. That means we can Bloodchief's Thirst a bigger target if so required. They probably don't think it's a Skull Raid. Faithless Looting. Huh, I guess we get to see what they're discarding. We also get the Bajuka Bogum, which is really fun. We'll see if they play any other flashback cards other than Faithless Looting. They got rid of Eureka Moment. That's interesting. They hit their graveyard pretty hard. We probably should have Skull Raided them first to hit it harder. But that's a hindsight moment. I don't typically play Hand Hate, so you'll have to forgive me. You'll have to forgive me. I don't typically play Hand Hate. Do we hold another turn to see if we can't make Sheoldred survive? I don't think we do, especially when they do that. Alright. Yeah, I think they are, I think they are in Hunt for Answers mode, which means I can just play Shelly. Believe it or not, this is a good thing for me, that they are in a I need to hunt for answers mode, because it delays them trying to play out Essica. Yeah, this is great for me, actually. Is that an enchantment? No, it's an artifact. I think we just play Sorin then.
No cost is too great to quell my people's.
That's expensive, but I like it.
A fair trade.
Is that an enchantment? It is. So Invoke Despair kind of just like wins us the game on this spot on this next turn. Never mind, it wins us the game into Golos here. I'm assuming it's going to be the World Tree so that they can have access to all mana colors. That's what all of these decks do. Yep. I can't imagine they are holding up Spell Pierce here, but I could very much be incorrect. We will find out. Alright, they're holding up nothing. Yeah, alright, Golos dies. You might think that I should hold Invoke Despair, and I think you're right. I think when I have Bloodchief's Thirst, it's probably the smarter play to just go ahead and Bloodchief's Thirst them. Math is hard.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
I do have to tap Sheoldred, not attack, but I get to kill their guy, so... We have a pretty big board state advantage going in a way. They will probably play out their Prismatic Bridge here, but unless they have a counterspell, they probably lose it immediately. And them doing that makes me believe they don't have a counterspell, and even if they did, it would be at best a Spell Pierce, which I have the mana for. I take it back, they have 3 treasure now. Right, I forgot that was the 3rd time they were activating. Oh well, we try and Invoke Despair anyways, because it's just the best play here. Doesn't look like they have too much interaction anyways, based on how stuff's going.
Blood for knowledge.
Yep, they have nothing. Cool. They lost their commander there. Pretty good for me. Did I play my land for turn? Did. We might just win here in a second. End of the turn. I don't think March is any good, honestly. My opponent's in very dire straits, especially because we have lethal with Sorin Ultimate. That's not something you see very often, bonking your opponent with a Sorin Ultimate for the kill. But that's probably what's about to happen unless they have Planeswalker removal. Because I have lethal with Sorin, but I don't know if they, Launch.
I won't let this be over. Finally, I will have
did I have fun in the match? Yes. To be fair, I think Sheoldred actually beats Essica and the Prismatic Bridge a good chunk of the time, because Sheoldred is just so fast by comparison. 4-drop commander as opposed to 5-drop in all colors. My opponent played pretty well, but like maybe if they gotten out Elspeth, maybe Broken Bond could have helped them. Maybe their Eureka moment could have given them something. I probably should have made them exile the stuff with Bajuka Bug anyways, but Sheoldred's fast. Sheoldred really puts you on a timer. And they played well, but they just didn't have the answers fast enough. GG's opponent. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got Miram! We kicked a Miram's ass earlier. Let's see if we can do it again. We probably want to try and find Hand Hate. Or, in this case, really good sacrifice outlets. Unfortunately, this Gate of the Black Dragon is kind of a dead draw for the first 2 turns here, but I can play it on turn 3 tapped or something. I think this is an old school. By old school, I mean when Forgotten Realms was in Standard. Old school start, where you play turn 1 Shambling Ghast, and then turn 2 you Deadly Dispute it. In this instance, we're checking for traps to see what they got. Drakuseth. Looks like they really want to ramp into big boys, but we take away Rhythm of the Wild. We might just try and play Braids if we get an untapped source. I got an untapped source. Actually, I changed my mind. I think it's called Conscript. And then Braids on the... Oh my goodness, I need to mute them. Look, the cat's very cute, but it's a very loud cat. And the opponent concedes. Okay. Raffine Scheming Seer. This is a good bad matchup for my opponent. Oh no. This is turn 2 Sheoldred. That's why I'm saying oh no. My opponent is going to be very unhappy. I could wait till turn 3 to make sure I put Kaya's ghost form onto them. But I think turn 2 to really just shove that nail into the coffin. Is it, Chief? Oh, especially with a tapped land. Oh, no, no, no. They hide a Shelly on turn 2. Oh, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough. Especially when all they have is another tapped land. Oof. That's tough, buddy. We play the ghost form, and then I think we hunt for specimens to try and make sure we find more lands. Oh, nope, that's just GG's. Yeah, this is getting included, but that's the Dark Ritual combo that makes opponents insta-concede, essentially. Joda! 5-color good stuff. Let's go! Turn 2 Shelly. It's back, baby! I could actually just turn 1 Flesh Gorger, but I think turn 2 Shelly is the much more egregious play. If they play blue or white mana, we might actually not... It's tapped, who cares? They had a Shelly. And I think we play a Flesh Gorger, and yep, there's the concede. This one's going in the video too, because this stuff is funny. Alright, well that was a lot more fast games than I was expecting. Lots of instant concedes to Dark Ritual Sheoldred. To be fair, Sheoldred on turn 2 is a lot to deal with, so I kinda get it. Especially if you're not ready for it. But hey, that's something you gotta keep in mind when running into Sheoldred the Apocalypse. I never blame my opponents for insta-conceding there, because Sheoldred's just brutal that early. She will immediately start causing a massive life difference. But yeah, that's Shelly. She's powerful. I don't know if I included any of the games that I lost, because most of the games that I lost were only because I missed 4 or 5 land drops in a row. I try and make sure I include, like, a loss or two to show off that, like... I mean, you know, cards are powerful, deck's powerful, but, you know, nothing's infallible. Everyone will lose a game every now and then, right? Even if you are a very good player with a very good deck. But yeah, that's Sheoldred. She's gross. She is so gross. I didn't even use any of her infinite combos, but she is just so gross. She has a handful of infinite combos that will just draw you your deck, or just like infinitely go off and ping your opponents for life. There is also the just peer into the abyss, where your opponent just draws like half their library, and then they just take 50 damage. Sorry, actually they would take 100 damage. They take so much that it literally doesn't matter unless your opponent has gotten up to like hundreds of life. But that typically only comes with an Aether Flux Reservoir combo anyways, so... yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I hope to catch you in the next one.